Myself, Ankita Tiwari from LG Institute of Engineering and Technology from IT ICT department. I'm going to take a session from module 1, that is cyber crimes. The subject that we are going to have is cyber crimes and mitigation. Subject code is 3163213. The topic that we are going to cover in this session is hacking, online frauds, software piracy, and computer network intrusion. So basically we are going to cover these 4 topics. Okay, now starting with the first topic, that is hacking. Now, hacking is what? From the word itself, to hack system. So hacking is an attempt to exploit a computer system or a private network inside a computer. Simply put, what is unauthorized access to or control over the computer network security system for some illicit purpose or for a destructive purpose or for the taking purpose. So this is what hacking is. Whenever a hacking word arises, we have the word in our mind that it is hacking, it is taking the unauthorized access to the system. So from the word, to better describe hacking, one needs to first understand the hackers, because basically hackers are based on their intention. Now based on the intention of the hackers, one can easily assume that it will be an intelligent and highly skilled in computers. Then and only then it can hack the system. So this is the first thing that we need to keep in mind. The story of hacking actually goes back to the 1950s, when a group of freaks began to hijack portion of the world telephone network, making unauthorized long distance calls and setting up special party lines for fellow freaks. So this is the very biggest example from the word. It has come from the word hacking, where these freaks has used telephone system as a medium where they can hack the system and they can use for their purpose. So this is what hacking is. Now with respect to hacking, we have types of hackers. What do you mean by types? We have different types of hackers. The first type is white hat hackers. Now these hackers basically utilize their programming abilities for a good and lawful reason. Now these hackers may perform network penetration tests in an attempt to compromise networks in order to discover network vulnerabilities. So basically they are utilizing their power of programming aptitudes for having to discover network vulnerabilities that can be broken by an attacker in order to take its important or personal or basic information. So security vulnerabilities are then reported to developers to fix them. So basically these hackers are very good in terms of programming, and they are used, basically these hackers are used in order to find out its vulnerabilities of any of the organization in any of the system. Okay, next type of hackers that we have is grey hat hackers. Now these hackers carry out violations and do seemingly deceptive things, however not for individual addition or to cause harm. These hackers may disclose a vulnerability to the affected organization. Basically these hackers are used when an organization is affected after having compromised their network. So when these hackers come into their point, that means these hackers have come when the violations is already been done for the organization and the organization is affected itself and having compromised. So it will find out its way in order to get out of it, and it will show the affected organization what the vulnerabilities are of your organization, and to make it clear and to make it good and make the attackers stop doing all these things. So these are the grey hat hackers. Another type of the third category of hackers we have is black hat hackers. Now these hackers are unethical criminals who violate network security for personal gain. A personal gain, if I'm talking about personal gain, means personal information in terms of username, passwords, or any other important information of a organization or of its use, where it can misuse that vulnerabilities to bargain PC frameworks. That means it will misuse for its cause, for its intention, and use that. So this is what black hat hackers are. Then they are criminal actually, and they will their ethics are non-ethical, unethical actually, and they violate the network security, also the organization also. So these are basically hackers that we say, that is black hat hackers with not good intentions. Okay, so with the working of ethical hacking, if I'm talking about, so working includes, these are the steps which is being followed by an ethical hacking. First of all, the consonance, where it will get all the information to where it has to start from. So first of all, reconsonance. After that, the second portion is scanning. So scanning means it will scan all the networks, the data, the content, the path from to reach that data to gain the access. So this is what scanning is. It will scan whole system, whole network in order to get into the system or to get the information. Then after that, it has the third step that it follows is gaining access. After scanning the system, it will have the path. So it will gain the access, how to get the access into the system and how to take the values. So after that, it will maintaining the access. That means if it is gaining, it has to maintain that access itself for a longer time. Till how much time it will take, it goes into the system, it will take the information, till that it has to maintain the access. And after that, clearing the track, it will clear the track from it has gone into the system, so that the path will not be there from where it has gone into the system, from where it has taken to the system. So clearing the track to be followed for the hackers. So this is what the 5 steps which is being followed by an ethical hacking. After that, we have another type of category in cybercrime is online transaction frauds. Now, online transaction frauds, in such matters, the complaint alleges that some unknown person had withdrawn money or made transaction through his or her credit or debit cards through online purchasing. This is a very big thing which we are facing in today's world. Many times we can see that some people have taken their money off, like means they have money has been gone in credit card. Somebody has shopped from some online websites from their credit cards, from their debit cards, and the money is debited from their account. So this is what a very big concept which is there in today's world, and it's very big challenging. In most of these cases, purchasing can be done by following crucial information of the credit card information, how it is followed. So the first thing that we need to keep in mind is the 16-digit credit or debit card number. It's a very big thing. It should not be disposed. It should not be told to anyone, or it should not be said to anyone, or it should not be visible to any other one. This is what the first thing they are hacking it, that is 16 credit card or debit card number. After that, the validity of the credit card, which we need to put whenever we do the online shopping. The second thing is validity of the credit and debit card. After that, the 3-digit confidential verification value, okay, which is there on your credit card itself. At the back of the credit card is there the 3-bit, or the one-time password. It is optional. Both of the thing is possible. A 3-bit code, sometimes it is the 3-bit code, or whether it is asked for the one-time password that is sent to the registered mobile number. So your mobile number is basically, it is known to everyone. So your mobile number is not a big thing to be taken in. The one-time password that is sent on your registered email ID for the debit card holder, that is a very big thing. So attacker will take the connection in order to get the access of your mobile number, so that it will get the OTP of the credit or debit card number in order to gain the access of your system. And with all these basic three information, it will take the money from your credit or debit card by using its online shopping, any website, and your money will be deducted from your account. So this is what the online transaction fraud is, and it is a very big challenge. Where phone calls are there, website links are there, we get a mail, we get a link, and if we click on that link, if we submit any of this information, our credit card, debit card will be spoofed, will be taken, all the details will be taken, and the fraud can be done. So this is what online transaction fraud is. After that, we have software piracy. Now, software piracy is an illegal copying, distribution, and use of software. Now, it is such a profitable business that it has caught the attention of organized crime groups in a group of countries, a number of countries. Now, according to the Business Software Alliance, about 36% of all the software in current use is stolen. Basically, its source code is stolen and it is copied with some modification. So, software piracy has become a worldwide issue with China, the United States, and the India being the top three offenders. So the commercial value of pirated software is $19 billion in North America, and Western Europe has reached $27.3 billion in the rest of the world. So this is what software piracy has increasing million and billion times or more in our today's world. So software piracy includes basically it is we are having an attacker where it will download this source code. Okay, this source code of a software will be downloaded by the attacker, and we will get the source code. Okay, now when it will get the source code, it will copy by modifying it to that CD itself, and then it will modify and it will copy in the CD. It will distribute to the user that it wants. So this is how the software piracy works. Software piracy is the act of stealing software which is legally protected. Just by defining some key. It will break that source code. It will download it. It will modify it with some variation. It will copy in the CD and it will distribute. So this is what software piracy system works, and this is how it does. How the attacker does its modification. Now we have different types of software piracy. Software piracy is the first type is soft-lifting. Soft-lifting is when someone purchases one version of the software, downloads it to the multiple computers. Even through the software license states, it should only be downloaded once. It should not be downloaded many times. So this is what the first type of software piracy is. Second type is client-server overuse. Now, client-server overuse is when too many people on a network use one main copy of the program at the same time. Means it is not downloaded at all the machines, but at the same time the same code will be used and run at the by the many people. So this is what client server overuse is. After that we have hard disk loading. Now hard disk loading is a type of commercial software piracy in which someone buys a legal version of the software and then reproduces. This is another type where it will buy it, it will it will take the legal version of the software and then reproduces, copies it and install it on the computer hard disk so that it can distribute it. So this is what the third type of software piracy is. Fourth type is counterfeiting, where occurs when software programs are illegally duplicated and sold with the appearance of the authenticity. That means it is authentically correct. With that concern, it is being sold. This is what another type of piracy is. And another type is online piracy, which online piracy is known as internet piracy, is when illegal software is sold, shared, or acquired by means of the internet. So these are different types of piracy. After that, we have the last topic in our session is computer network intrusion. Means going into the network, hack it, take the important information and getting back. This is what computer network intrusion is. So a network intrusion is any unauthorized activity on a computer network. Detecting an intrusion depending on the defender having a clear understanding of how attackers work, how attacks works. So this is what in most cases such unwanted activity absorbs network resources intended for some uses and then nearly always threatens the security of the network and or its data. So this is what network intrusion is. Now properly designing and deploying a network intrusion detection will help you to block the intruders. So you have to basically design and deploy the network intrusion system, detection system, so that it will block the intruders in order to get into the system and take the necessary information. So this is what system, as you can see here, how the data is being compromised. We have internet one side, we have trusted network on the other side, we have firewall in it. Now, whenever the firewall is being taken, it goes from the internet to the firewall. But whenever we are going to the trusted network, to get the information, it will just put from the server, it will go for the read-only data, and directly it will go for the trusted network by breaking its authenticity and goes into the network and will take the data and it will store into the server read only mode. Then if it is read only mode, it will have the content. That means it can do anything that it wants. So this is what network intrusion works. Network intrusion is being done by the attacker itself in order to get the information. This is what network intrusion is, this scenario. Then we have network intrusion attack techniques. How to attack it. So first attack is by multi-routing. Now this method is basically known as asymmetric routing. Indeed, the whole idea is to make use of more than one route to be targeted a network. So as a result, this allows hackers to evade detection by using or by having a very significant portion of questionable packets where it wants to bypass the intrusion sensors in order to get into some sections of the network. So it will just take the portion of the questionable packets, it will bypass it and it will go into the session and will take the value. So this is how the first technique is. Another technique that we have is buffer overflow attacks. This method attempts to override certain sections of the computer memory within a network, replacing normal data in those memory locations with a string of commands that can later be used as a part of the attack. So this method attempts to override. That means it will just override the data which is there in the computer memory within the network itself by replacing normal data in some memory location, so that it will get the string commands and it will get into it and it will take the part of the network that it wants. Another tech we have is traffic flooding, and on the other hand, the method of network intrusion is the creation of traffic loads. So that will be too large for the system to properly screen. And this would then intend chaos and congestion in the network environment so that the attacker will go easily and will take the value. Okay. Trojan horse malware. These programs appear where it will not replicate like a virus or worm. However, they create a network backdoor that gives attackers unfettered access. It will give an access to the system, to the attackers to get into the network and take any or the available data for its use. So traffic flooding, Trojan horse malware. Basically, Trojan horse malware is being compared with the virus and worm, because virus is what? It will just spread from one PC to another PC to another PC. It will just spread it. Worm is what? It will replicate by its own. It will replicate itself on thousands of numbers and will be with the intention to get the information. But Trojan horse malware is a program, it's a tiny program which is situated at the backdoor of the network to give attacker unfettered access. Means not to get into the system, it will give the access directly to the network with any available data that it wants. This is what network intrusion attacks are, with the techniques to get into the system. So we have studied these of the 4 types of things, attacks that in the cybercrime itself. Thank you.